It was an extraordinary gift at an extraordinary moment in history. That's what this passage in John 12 is about. But what does it mean for us? This vignette that God has preserved for us in His Word tells of an amazing moment in the last days of Jesus' life when He was moving inexorably towards His crucifixion. Here is what's been happening. Jesus, through His teaching and healing all over Palestine, has attracted a lot of attention and gotten very popular. Many people have come to believe in Him. This is of great concern to the religious leaders because that means people might be questioning their authority. So they have been worried about Jesus' popularity. Then Jesus raises His friend Lazarus from the dead, and even more people believe in Him, even some of the leaders themselves. The leaders who don't believe now, however, are really concerned, fearing the loss of their power base and their religion. So they, in essence, issue a warrant for Jesus' arrest. Now, recently Jesus has been keeping a low profile somewhere across the Jordan River. But as chapter 12 begins, Jesus makes a very public appearance in Bethany to go to a banquet where Lazarus, who He's recently raised from the dead, is present. Martha, Lazarus' sister, is in charge of the waiting and the servants, and Mary, Lazarus' other sister, does something extremely unusual and remarkable. She brings out a container of very expensive and precious perfume, pours it on Jesus' feet, wipes Jesus' feet with her hair, and the perfume spreads an aroma through the whole house. Everyone is stunned. Now, in order to understand the significance of what Mary did, we need to remember that although most of the people around Jesus wanted Him to be a political revolutionary and start His own kingdom, that is not what Jesus had been talking about at all. He had been talking about an internal revolution in people's hearts and lives, and He had been clearly saying that He was going to be betrayed and die. It seems that many of Jesus' disciples didn't hear that, but I think Mary heard it. Mary, you may remember, is the sister that sat at Jesus' feet and listened. So out of love and faith and sadness, Mary decided to give Jesus the most precious thing she possessed, that highly prized, very expensive perfume. And she wanted to give it to Him while He was still alive. When she did what she did, Judas, the treasurer for Jesus' group of disciples, protested and said she should have given the money to the poor. But Jesus defended Mary. "Leave her alone," He said. "She did this in preparation for my burial." And the aroma filled the house. What can we learn from Mary? The first thing we can learn from Mary is to listen very carefully to what Jesus says. Not the political machinations around us, not all the noise, not other people's expectations or judgments, but listen to Jesus and be ready to act and live accordingly. The second thing we can learn from Mary is to be willing to give to Jesus what is most precious to us, if that will honor Him. Let's learn from Mary, and may the aroma of our listening and obedience fill the house.